Okay, round two.
Shane, are we live?
We are live, Mr. Paul Little Ray Goulet.
Hey everybody, I'm Little Ray. Thank you everybody for all your support over the last month, in particular in the last couple days. I'm with Shane right now. Shane and I are actually, ironically enough, we are delivering some bats to the Biodome today, and we are delivering 2 rescued alligators to another facility in Quebec. One that we probably had cared for about 3 years, trying to find a home. It's an alligator that was seized, that was going to be euthanized, and we managed to keep him for 3 years in both our Ottawa and Hamilton facility. Many of you may have seen him in Hamilton. He wasn't on display in Ottawa. And Allie, who's a really, an alligator we've had for quite some time. I think we've probably had her for about 4 or 5 years, and bringing her to a wonderful home at another facility here in Quebec today. So I think we had Allie for about 6 or 7 years. It's been a long time that we've been caring for her, trying to find a long-term solution for her. So happy to be doing that today. Obviously, everybody has seen some of our plight that we have right now. We have been all but shut down over the pandemic. It's been challenging to say the least. We've actually shut down. We've lost about 94% of our revenue. And I know people understand this. I mean, we still have debt care. We still have to pay for our staff. And people ask about the wage subsidy program, and that's great. That covers wages. It doesn't cover interest on loans, interest on mortgage payments. It doesn't cover insurance. It doesn't cover food. It doesn't cover vet care. Our utilities alone are $12,000 or $13,000 a month. And Ontario Hydro just raised the hydro rates, which is crazy to me. But anyways, everybody has their own issues. In all of this, I found myself. I woke up Monday morning, and everything that started for me this week started Monday morning when I emailed the BDC, who I feel for. I feel for the staff at the BDC right now. They do not have enough people to adjudicate and get these loans into the system on a timely fashion. And my contact there has certainly been very helpful, but here's a dad that's working from home with a couple of kids, trying to navigate being a parent and a teacher and an employee, all while he has 50 times the number of applications coming across his desk to service people. So, but on Monday morning, 3 months after I've applied for a loan through BDC to help us, and I have not been worried, because I'm like, if they don't give us a loan, we're a viable business that's been growing. We have put ourselves in a position for museum exhibits across North America. There's interest in people touring our stuff in China. We have contracts with major museums. We have a bright future. We just have no revenue coming in right now. We need some kind of a bridge to get us to where things open up. And I've been like, look, if BDC doesn't give us the money, if we don't get a loan, who's getting a loan? So I haven't been worried about it. But Monday morning, after watching our money just continue to disappear, I came to the reality. I'm like, we are going to run out of money. And it's going to happen very soon. And when I emailed BDC, the message I got from BDC was, sorry, it still hasn't been picked up in the system. And at that point in time, I was like, okay, this is it. This is crazy. And I emailed the province of Ontario, the Solicitor General's office, who actually oversees the animal welfare services, what the SPCA used to do in Ontario. We work with them closely. When Ontario has issues with seized and confiscated animals, we've been one of their primary partners, whether through the SPCA for 20 years. We've been in business 25 years. We help provincial authorities across the country. We help Environment Canada with the placement of seized and confiscated animals. We help municipalities. But I reached out to the Solicitor General's office. I emailed both of our lending partners. I emailed BDC. I Friday, if we don't have an answer about some funding, some loan, something, that we are going to be having to make a plan to turn our key over to the Solicitor General's office. And I will tell you that I got a phone call within 7 minutes of sending that email, because the reality is that we have 800 animals, and the cost of the Solicitor General's office and the Animal Welfare Services trying to care for these animals versus the cost we can do it for are two astronomically different things. And that's not to say that they're not great people. They are just not set up to do this efficiently. But we have no choice. This is not a threat based on me trying to action something. We're not looking for a bailout. I do not want them to give me money, but we are running out of money. And as I've gone through this, and as this traction got picked up, I started to think about this is so much bigger than me personally as a business. This is more than me. All businesses, you do not want to be a large small business right now. When the first program to support small businesses was announced back in March, we applied for that program. It was the SEBA program. It was a program that was put in place to get money into the hands of business owners. It was a Band-Aid solution initially, just to help for this period of time. I have put this in my post, but people need to think about this. Businesses were given $40,000, no interest. It does not have to be, you do not have to start paying it back till January 1st, 2022. And if you pay it back before that, $10,000, 25% of that loan is forgivable. It's forgivable. So if you had a payroll of $20,000, you were given $40,000. You were given enough money to cover your payroll for 730 days. Our parent company has a payroll of $880,000. We were given enough money to cover our payroll for 16 and a half days. We literally got 1/43rd the support that the smallest of small businesses had. If you had a payroll of $1.5 million, you were given $40,000. Like, that covers a business for 7 days. It doesn't even cover the previous payroll period. Like, a Band-Aid solution that has zero recognition for the size of the company, how big they are. You know, there had been suggestions about, look at what people have paid in HST, you know, and maybe we'll give them that as a loan. That's the number. And that would have at least recognized the disparity in the size of the companies that were being supported. I've been waiting for 3 months to watch this program change. Like, there's no way that won't change. Meanwhile, I did apply for the Business Capital Program, the BCAP program. The first program, the SEBA program, I'm sorry, was not the first program. That came out a little bit after that, and it was easy to get at, and people could get it. It just had no factors for considering the size of the company. Now, you know, we've been waiting 3 months for BDC to adjudicate on the loan. In fairness to them, there was a delay of about 1 month from our end. They wanted us to take care of something on our end that they wanted. I don't know that I agreed that it was really a big deal, but there was about 1 month that there was about a delay from our end. So it's been 3 months with about a 1 month delay, and we finally got it, but we had been in the system for almost 2 months at that point in time. And then I call on Monday, and I'm told that they haven't even, it hasn't even been picked up. I can assure you with my emails that I sent on Monday and the phone calls that were made from my MPP's office and my MP's office and from the Solicitor General's office that loan is in adjudication now. They are looking at it, so that's good news. And I'm positive, I'm certainly, I feel confident that we will get the support based on the business that we have been. However, we still don't know. But that program, businesses are shut down and they have no capacity, some of them, to generate revenue for a fraction of what they previously were able to generate. The government realizes that BDC does not have the capacity to even look at all these loans, and they have this money they're trying to give out, and it's not getting into the hands of business. So they come up with a co-lending program on April 24th that's announced, where banks can actually lend this money through the BCAP program at BDC, and BDC gives them 80% of the money, and the banks take 20% of the risk. I'm encouraged on April 24th, look, you have a relationship with your bank, call your bank, go to your bank. I deal with Scotiabank and Royal Bank. I used to work for Scotiabank, and I still have friends in upper management in Scotiabank today. And I was told by Scotiabank, the banks will not be supporting this program. Do not apply for this program. The banks are conservative lenders to begin with. If your business is shut down, they are not going to be supporting this program. They are not high-risk lenders to begin with, and they are more conservative than they have ever been right now. So, and a friend of mine said, look, I'm not even going to put it in the system. I'm not going to waste your time and set you up for hope, and I'm not going to waste my time. I called Royal Bank, and my contact at the Royal Bank tells me the exact same thing. So I let the BDC contact, no, the banks are saying this is not an option. They will not give out this money, and they've told me not even to bother contacting another bank because it's not going to work. This was April 25th. Finally, on June 5th, I send out emails to the Minister of Finance. I send one to Bill Morneau's office. I've sent 3 emails and 2 phone calls to Bill Morneau's office. And I have not got one response from the Minister of Finance, questioning the SEBA program and questioning the time it's taken for this money to get out for businesses. It is now 3 months that most businesses have been shut down, and still this money is not getting out. From the first program that the government announced, the first, not the 12th to the 15th to the 17th, the first program that is supposed to be there to help small businesses. So Mary Ng's office, the Minister of Small Business, on June 5th, this drives me crazy, and I have been obsessing about it ever since. And I'm making this video, and I'm going public with this in the hopes that my platform can bring some light to this massive issue that we have in our country. That program went out April 24th, the co-lending program. I was told the banks would not be supporting it. Don't even apply. Don't waste your time. June 5th, 6 weeks after that program was announced, I send an email to Mary Ng's office saying, look, what is going to happen to small businesses? What are we doing? I can't get my loan in the system with BDC. And I get a letter back from our Minister of Finance telling me to apply for the co-lending program that was released on April 24th. And I'm like, oh, maybe I missed something. Maybe this program is now viable, and it's not defunct. It's not being utilized. So I, that day, pick up the phone and I call my partners at Scotiabank and Royal Bank. Scotiabank and Royal Bank immediately, no, nothing has changed. The banks are not giving out this money. Not, zero. And a story in the Globe Mail came out a week ago. I think it's 0.2 of 1% of the $20 billion in that program has been given out in the last 6 months. And the letter says that, you know, people aren't applying to it. And it's not that we're not applying. The banks are literally telling us ahead of time, don't apply, we're not giving out the money. So of course people are not applying for the program. But Mary, and then I call a senior manager that I know at BDC. And this manager at BDC says, no, yeah, the program has failed. That program was put in place to alleviate pressure from BDC officers and from our adjudication team because we could not keep up with the applications. It is not being picked up by the banks. The money is not going out. That program has failed. So BDC is telling me, no, that program's done. Like, we're not even sending people there. Like, it's done. But our Minister of Small Business has no idea is sending me an email to tell me to apply for a program that is basically defunct. Yes, functionally, functionally it's there, but practically it is not. So if our Minister of Small Business does not know that the program they've put in place to support small businesses, to help support the previous program that was failing, they put a program in place to support a previous program that is failing, and the small business, the Minister of Small Business does not know 6 weeks afterwards that this money is not going out, the program has failed, yet a manager at BDC will say, absolutely. How does Mary Ng's office not know that this program is failing? And if she doesn't know, like, who does? Who is watching this stuff for small business? Who's keeping an eye on this for every small business that is suffering right now, if she's not? So what, it's been 6 weeks? What, did they need 8 weeks for the program to fail? Before now, they try to put in another program? So it took a month to figure out the first program wasn't working. It takes another 2 months to figure out that they still can't give out the money in the second program. So by the time the third program is released, and it takes another month or two to get the money, the challenge right now is that we say we're giving out this money. Every business I've talked to that have been accepted or denied from every business I've talked to that's been accepted or denied has said BDC is making them jump through more hoops than they ever have. And how does this make sense? I look at my business myself. So if my business is waiting for help because BDC in these uncertain times are spending extra time dotting their I's and crossing their T's to make sure that they have a full risk assessment and fully understand what everybody's uncertain future looks like. And as a result, sorry, we're in Montreal. These roads are great. And as a result, we're having to wait for our loans to be adjudicated on for months. I look at my business alone, and if I said, let's pretend we're higher risk right now because museums are shut down. I think everybody knows the museums are going away, museums are shut down. So I think we know that there's uncertainty as to when they're going to reopen, but we all know that these museums are going to reopen. But BDC, for me, I've been in business 25 years. In the last 5 years, I have paid out over $6.5 million in salaries to my staff. I have collected over $2.4 million in taxes in the last 5 years alone. I have asked the BDC for a $350,000 loan. If you take my $2.4 million in taxes and my $6.5 million, that is $9 million I've injected into our country to support our economy. I'm basically asking for 3% of what I've generated through salaries and taxes. 3%. I think it's 12% of what I've paid in taxes in the last 5 years. I'm asking for them to lend me this money. I'm asking to borrow the money. Don't give it to me. Don't give me back part of my 2.4. Just lend it to me, and I will pay you back. I have no problems paying you back. And I looked at this, and last night I had an epiphany. And I'm like, as an entrepreneur, as a business that has not just been supporting provincial and federal authorities in animals, with the safekeeping and transport and moving and care of seized animals, many of which otherwise would be euthanized, the jobs that we've been supporting, the taxes we have been paying. Have I not earned the right for the BDC, for our government agency, have I not earned the right for them to maybe take a little, if they think it's risky, or more risky than it was a year ago? Should they really be adjudicating and double dotting the I's and double crossing the T's right now? Have I not earned the right for our government to take a little bit of a chance on me? To take a little bit of risk, knowing that I have proved myself in the past? And all I'm trying to do is make sure that in the next 5 years that I can pay out at least another $6.5 million in salaries and pay another $2.4 million in taxes to the government. And for that opportunity, all I'm asking for is $350,000. It is ludicrous to me that I have been reduced to having to beg for support to save our rescue centers. Our museum exhibits program, those exhibits are sitting in storage. And guess what? They're going to be in storage and they don't need to be fed or anything else. And come January, those exhibits will be able to go back out to museums when they start rolling again. Those rescue centers, where we are taking all of these animals in, where we're housing them, caring for them at the highest standards set for animal care in zoos in Canada. We are an accredited zoo through Canada's accredited zoos and aquarium. I'm very proud to say that. But those centers that are housing those animals are at risk now of closing, and I am having to beg BDC and pull out every string to have people just even look at my application 3 months later. Mary Ing's office, the fact that you have no idea that this co-lending program is not happening, I'm beside myself with frustration. That your office would send that email to me makes me realize you guys have no idea what's going on with respect to small businesses and how we're being affected. And I'm sorry, you do not need data to figure out what I'm telling you. You just have to call a senior lender at BDC and ask them how the co-lending program is going. I know this is unprecedented times, but you are the minister of small business. You're the one who's supposed to know. Everybody, I am going to work my tail off this week and over the upcoming weeks, but this issue has gotten much larger than Little Ray's Nature Center in Paul and Sherry. I'm confident that I will find a way. In 25 years, I always have. We have a monthly contribution page that Shane and my management team set up. We're dealing with a $50,000 cash flow shortfall a month for the next 7 months we are anticipating. It's $350,000 already. I think we've raised $10,000 in the last 14 hours, and I thank everybody so much who has contributed to that or any previous campaign that we have done. We thank you guys. If you want to support us that way as an individual, you can. And I hate asking for the handouts. Our rescue centers need it right now. And I am hoping that in the very near future, I'm going to hear back from BDC. I will be writing Mary Ing's office again. And I am very much looking forward to the response I get from Mary Ing's office this time. And I will be writing Bill Morneau's office again. Because the Minister of Finance has not even replied, and I think it is unacceptable that people are being pushed to the absolute brink, and I'm having to call the province to say, you need to take over my animals before people, because we can't keep the lights on. Before anybody reacts. Everybody, I really appreciate everyone's support as friends and families in all of this. I want to assure people that I still see the beauty in every single day. I am still eternally thankful for all the gifts in my life, my family, my children, my friends, our staff that have worked so hard and been so dedicated to help us. And I will not let this break me, but I am so worried about the future of the animals that are there right now, and I'm so worried about about other small businesses who are simply not just not getting the support that they need, but not even getting an answer, not even getting a reasonable answer. And I promise to share this journey with everybody. I am a completely transparent person. I don't know how we're going to get through it, but I believe we will. Thank you guys so much, and hopefully the background noise wasn't too much. Shane, did I forget anything?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, everybody.
A big smile.
Love.
Big smile. There we go.